Don't hear him.
Hello, welcome to the Tech Enabled Agent.
Okay.
I'm Maps Technology Coach Brett Group. Thank you so very much for joining us today. Good evening from London. Normally you don't find me in London. You have some wonderful Keller Williams London Bridge agents behind me, and I'm really excited to get started today. So what we are going to do is we're going to show you some of what we do in the Tech Enabled Agent, but you're going to walk away today with things to use in Command. You don't have to wait. We're not going to talk about, we're going to do this thing in the future for you. You're going to leave today with a bunch of stuff to do. We're going to move a little faster than we do in the coaching program, which lasts about 30 minutes. And the reason that we're going to move a lot faster is that we frankly want to show you the possibilities of how you can use Command today. And how you can use Command today is really, really powerful. You can convert, you can create leverage, and you can build your business. So that's what we're going to do today. So let's get to work. All right, so welcome. What we're going to do, we're going to squeeze what would be a few coaching sessions in. We're going to be using the scripting and reporting feature to convert. We'll be exploring designs a bit. There is a handout that is included with this session, and you will find what's going to be like the color guide and things you'll need to create perfect designs in 5 minutes or less, right? Command is designed to create things in 5 minutes or less for you. Right? We're going to use a Kelle Smart View to convert, and you're going to learn those tech steps, what to say, and more or less really how we're going to do this, right? And how you're going to convert. Mastery isn't just knowing how to add a contact or send a neighborhood nurture. It's understanding how to communicate around these various parts of Command. All right, so let's get started with this. So you're going to find, first, what we're going to do is just show you kind of what's been updated so you understand where we're at since Mega Camp. And then we're going to start digging into these ways that you can use Command today to focus your lead gen and to work your way towards being a millionaire real estate agent. Okay, so I'm going to go full screen so you can see everything. Feel free to put your questions inside the chat box as we go along, and I'm happy to stop if you have any issues. Okay, so here we are. This is what Command looks like today. You can see here, I have a bunch of past due tasks. I use this account to do a lot of demonstrations, and that's okay. We all get past due contacts, past due tasks sometimes. See here, we have our notifications. We have this great question mark button. Gives us the opportunity to not get stuck, right? We often give up when we have an issue. We can post an idea. We have just so many different types of options, right? We even have this neat product blog button. So that way you're not struggling to find out what Keller Williams is up to, what things are coming out. Everything you need to know from communications to running your business can be found inside Command. You can go to support. There's actually human beings that will answer your questions. If you're on a team like me, don't forget to select your team. That's really, really important. See here, as I hover over the task, it lets me know what I need to do. So Amy Horton, who is a great team leader in Dallas, I have this message that goes out automatically to text her to get coffee. That comes from my 8x8 Smart Plan. So let's say my next task in that Smart Plan would be to send an email to Amy. It pops up in my contact tasks. And I love that it asks me a second time. It's my accountability partner. Okay, so you see here some other tasks, right? I'm just giving you a quick overview before we drill into the coaching part that's also combined with tech training. And then opportunities, which is our sales pipeline. It's from the first time you met the person until closing. You can track all those tasks that are inside that space. All right, and then we have our notepad. This just got added. It's a very tiny thing, but super helpful. Personally, if I write something down on paper, I lose it. It's the running joke on our team that if you want to lose paper, to hand it to me. So if I was in command and I got an important phone call about an inspection or something like that, this would be a natural place for me to write it before I put it inside my contact. And then this is brand new too. You'll always know what's coming and what to look for. And we're going to coach to some of this stuff today. And I know a lot of you asked about exporting contacts. We're almost there. There's a little trick that you can connect with Google Contacts currently to do that yourself. We have a really quick question before we go to the next part, where can we set up a series of tasks as a flow? Rachel, that's a fantastic question. Yes, that's going to be part of the SMART plans. And we're going to show SMART plans as part of today. And the next step in SMART plans is us building them ourselves. Okay, so thank you for that question, Rachel. This is generally the way our program works. We go through these parts. You guys ask questions. We keep it as interactive as we can, because the goal is to provide you twice a week with 30 minutes of useful info you can implement today. You'll never hear me talk about the future and train you about things that are coming. We're going to only train you about things that you can use today to grow your business with. Okay, so this is reporting. This is a really, really important screen. Pardon my shuttling issues there. There we go. So this is a really important screen. You can see it's on the left here, those little bars. That is your opportunity to click reporting. And I'm on a team, so I can compare myself to the people on my team. I can compare it to the agents in my market center, agents at the top production bracket. This part's really powerful because it gives me something to lead generate to. I am sure you struggle with, what should I say to my potential clients? I don't know what to talk about when I call them next time. You have these opportunities now to where you can really go in here and you can focus your contacting, and you can use the artificial intelligence to tell you who you should talk to and who you haven't talked to. Right? We have 6 categories here. We're going to address them today as part of our lead generation. Right? I can sort by cities. Right, so here's some, I have a lot of Keller Williams agents in this account, so it pulls up some really interesting cities. But you know, one thing when I was brand new as an agent, it'll be 9 years ago really soon, was I didn't know really where I worked. I just ran around everywhere. It would be great to be able to focus in more and more and more as time goes on. So we have lead registered, we have open house. You can see I have my sources here, expireds. It gives me a really great opportunity. The one thing we'll address quickly today is the difference between contacts and leads. It comes from the MREA 2.0, because that is what Command is built around. So you see what we're doing here? We're making your contacting more intentional. You know, Gary talks about how you can become a millionaire real estate agent, and it's 7 appointments a week, just 7. And when you think about that number, that's not particularly daunting. Now, when you break out the other numbers, you know, panic fills my heart. I start to think about things like, wow, that's 300 something appointments. That's a lot. That's scary, right? We create a big goal, as Gary talks about, and then we go small. Going small is 7 appointments a week. Big is netting $1 million. All right, so we had a question pop up before we go on. So Tracy wants to know, can you check off all the tasks as one? When you talk about the different features, could you please say this is where you blank, because sometimes the tab titles are second nature to you and some of us are still learning. Thank you. I'm really glad you brought that up, Tracy. So, excuse me, that was Terry. We're moving a little faster than usual, Terry. In our program, we generally focus on 1 or 2 things a session. Like I have one right after this, and we'll be focusing on creating the checklist and opportunities so we can scale our communication better. And the reason that we do that is because since we do this twice a week live and on demand, we want to just baby step you to $1 million. Ben's mentioning he doesn't have the drop-down menu. I don't know if you're in a team or not, Ben, but I have what you have. I do not have a special labs version of Command. That much I promise. You're welcome to just contact me. You can, of course, find me in Kelly, or I'll give you my information right towards the end. I'm always happy to help you guys. That's the way our program is. We include as much one-to-one stuff as we can with the various ways to help. Okay, so let's move forward a bit. Oops, pardon me. All right, so I mentioned this. This is the way Command is structured. If you learn, frankly, nothing else, right, you're not going to learn and master Command today. Master this part. It's the MREA 2.0 model. So you're going to flow. So a lead, remember Mets and not Mets? A lead is someone that you have one-way communication with. In the old terminology, we'd say not met because everything was in person at some point. Now you can really foster a relationship via social media, via things like Zoom or Google Hangouts. Like I meet with people all the time via video. I'm literally sitting in the London Market Center right now, going through kind of training them on Command. And, we build these relationships online. You can do that with your clients. So a lead in Command is a one-way communication. A contact is two-way communication, like we're talking to each other. And that, right, Gary talks about buckets. That goes down into your buckets, right, goes into cultivate. And that's how we work our way through. So I hope that makes sense to all of you, right? Okay, so let's move forward. So let's do a script together. So I'm really excited to do the script with all you guys because it's so simple, right? I pulled up those reporting categories to do it for a reason. And the reason was you can use them to lead generate. So let's go full screen so you can see these. And feel free to take a photo of them, go to webinar, let you capture these. They're really easy scripts. Gary did this one at Family Reunion, right? We have inside of Command, we have the contact fields. And the contact fields have all of these categories. It pulls the data from them. So the Gary address script, for example. Hey, Josh, this is Gary Keller with Keller Williams. I was getting to prepare specific data on your home and realized I don't have your address. Then they give you your address. This might be a past client. That's an embarrassing conversation. I would agree, right? However, what's more embarrassing or what feels even worse inside is when you miss the opportunity to create more business. When you miss the opportunity to create more business, you miss out on living your life by design. I mean, take myself, I'm sitting here in London, training agents in London with my family, having my life by design. I love training and coaching technology. That's my opportunity, right? If I didn't focus on building businesses, building my real estate business, all those things, you wouldn't get those chances. So ask the uncomfortable question. So a perfect follow-up for that is to then ask them really simple things that fill out those 6 parts of that data set. One of those things is a birthday. And that doesn't seem like a interesting question at first, right? Like, hey, what's your birthday? But you can actually really dig into something. So I'll role play as I'm sitting in a room alone with myself here so you can understand where I'm going. So during a conversation with them, say like after the Gary address script, you can say something like, hey, when's your birthday? I'm really getting tired of learning on Facebook it's someone I like's birthday. What's that do? It gives them an opportunity to tell you. So if you asked me, I would say June 21st. Oh, what do you like to do on your birthday? Oh, I really like to go outside, summer solstice, ride my bike. Oh, what'd you do your last birthday? Well, my wife had dental bone graft surgery and my 4-year-old got sick on me. We had a real conversation. If you do nothing but just contact people and script your conversations around those 6 categories in reporting, you have an incredible opportunity to grow your business. And that's something that is just invaluable. Let's see here. We got a question from Silicon Valley. Hello, Christina Hood. Do you see what we're saying here? So I think the thing that we miss out on sometimes is we forget that technology is designed to help us scale the creation of our relationships. There's the great MAPS coach, Tony DeCello, tells me when he takes my program that the thing he gets out of it is that I focus on that business can be a toy or it can be your business. Do you want to play on Facebook? Do you want to build relationships on Facebook? Do you want to stare at cute cats on Instagram? Or do you want to send messages to your potential clients and build out these data sets and create these automations? Because what Command and Kelle do is let you talk to more people every day. So I am not normally in London. I'm normally sitting in my market center in Denver. And one thing I get the opportunity to do today is to talk to the UK region about where Command is now. And where Command is now for them was where we were in January. But still, here we are. Command does a heck of a lot more than when this program began in January. And the reason it does that is things improve. Gary invested $1 billion in this. It works for all of us perfectly, and it's going to work for all these many countries around the world too, as we customize it for them. So what you need to do is to now focus on how you can use Command to communicate. Okay? So let's dig into this part a little more. So this is our dashboard. I really like our dashboard. We have tasks, we have smart plans. Now, smart plans are going to automate your communication more. And that's really important. So I'll explain it as I go along here. There we go. So we hit the Get Started button. Now, this is called the Kelle Smart Guide. If you haven't set up anything in Command, this is your opportunity to create your marketing profile. I did not want to make you sit through me uploading things like my photo, right? So you just go along and you follow what it tells you to do. And it'll bring you to the smart plan soon. And I'll show you that in a sec. All right, I just keep going along. I've configured my email. We have this thing called Twilio, and I don't want to confuse all of you, but it allows us to scale our text communication. But we're going to focus on these for now. So these are smart plans. We have the monthly neighborhood nurture, the bi-weekly neighborhood nurture, quarterly call, long-term, midterm nurture, and 8x8. You can see the steps. They're pretty straightforward and simple, and that's the point. We overcomplicate stuff too much. So we have a reminder, we send email, delay, repeat. I don't know about you, but I've been an agent for 9 years. I forget to set tasks to follow up with people all the time. You do too. It's okay, you're a human. But the goal is to stop dropping the ball as much. So here we have, an auto bi-weekly neighborhood nurture. We delay. It tells you to make a phone call. It delays. It goes through the steps. So you don't have to worry about setting the task. You just set the smart plan inside the contact field while you're prospecting. And it's going to set these reminders. It's going to tell you what to do. You don't have to think anymore. And the less we think, frankly, the better we do, because we have a system and we stop relying on creativity. Creativity is really important, but then that's what can often create a system. But then you just have to follow the steps. So this is an 8x8 new contact engagement smart plan. And this integrates with something called Twilio. We have a session coming up in the Tech Enabled Agent on this specifically. So right before Mega Camp, I saw that this popped up and I got really excited. I was training a market center ALC in South Carolina. It was just opening. And the great team leader, Amy Horton's in my contacts, and she's in the A's, right? She was right in front of me. I opened it up. I clicked plus to show them how easy it was. 20 minutes later, I got a text back inside of Kelle, and it said, "Who's this?" Because it came from my Twilio phone number. But as you can see through the steps here, I simply would have gotten off the phone with Amy, say it was our first conversation, and she automatically got a nice to talk to you text. And it keeps going through these steps, and it tells you when to personalize. It sends out personalized neighborhood nurture emails, and it tells you to do things like call, send a reminder to send an email about our team, call to check in with them. It sends out the neighborhood nurture on its own. It'll send a text message on its own that says anything I can help with. So it's the combination of utilizing tech leverage, a system, and allowing you to talk to more people a day, because it takes away some of the touches for you in a way that creates more conversations. And that's something I can't stress enough. It's really powerful. It allows you to really, really talk to more people every single day. We get pushback all the time about, well, does it do this? Does it do that? Command does more than any CRM I have seen already. when we think about things like a 36 touch, if you put somebody on a monthly neighborhood nurture, it's 12 phone calls and 12 emails. That's 24. And you're providing something of value because you're going to call and you're going to ask people to participate in your business. And that's really, really important. So let's see here. 2 questions. Does Command capture two-way conversations via text, email, and does it show you when people open their email or read your text? Yes. So let's see. It's more complicated than that, Suzanne. Thank you for the question. It will always capture email. If you call someone through Kelle, like let's say you called me, you looked up Brett, you click the little phone icon, I'm in your contacts, it's going to record that phone call. So that way you know the contacting you're making. If you send a one-to-one text, like one that you generated yourself, if you open up Kelle and you just inside the contact field push the text icon, it's still going to send the text from you from your phone. It's going to record that happened though. The text from my iPhone won't be inside the timeline. But let's say it was this Twilio text I mentioned with my team leader friend, Amy Horton. That, because it's integrated inside a Command, you can't integrate an iPhone's phone number, for example, outside of the iPhone. And you start using that as your professional number to do all this type of new lead and new contact engagement, you'll see all those conversations. So it builds out an entire timeline. I hope that makes sense, okay? Let's see here. Suzanne, thanks you. You guys are asking a load of questions, and thank you. I apologize if I miss any of them. We have quite a few people on the call today. Terry wants to know if we can record a call and send it to our list. Not in Command yet, but there's a boatload of services that do that. Oh, good question, Peter. Before we move on, he asked a question about tech-enabled agent. Peter, we have done later today will be the 60th tech-enabled agent. And boy, do you not need to go back to the beginning and watch those. We have a full on-demand platform. We partnered with a company called Kajabi, and we put every single session there. So that way you'll have no problem catching up. For example, we're in the middle of reorganizing it, but more or less, if you wanted to really catch up with what's new, you wouldn't have to go back further than say like late June. And you'll be fully caught up on Command, including us explaining to you the new features, what just came out, like we just did that on Tuesday. Okay, so let's move forward with our class. You guys are really asking great questions, so thank you so much. Okay, so here, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna filter. And we're gonna filter because we're then going to use a script to call, right? We're using the features of Command to lead generate more smartly or smarter. Pardon my poor English. Okay, so you remember, always pick your team. Somebody mentioned earlier not seeing drop downs. I have that happen sometimes. It's because I'm on a team and I forget to pick them. So we go here to select Smart View. If you scroll down, we all have this. We have 2 Kelle Smart Views now. I made one months ago that Kelle now does for us. And who should I call? The artificial intelligence tells us who we haven't been talking to. Your whatever database you use now doesn't really do that for you, right? And so we pull up all these contacts. And now all I really, really have to do is start contacting these people. It's that simple. And I'll talk about what we should say in a sec. But you can see here, here's my friend Abby. She's actually a PC. I try to show Keller Williams people, so we're not showing internet or real estate leads here. And I can flip through all these different categories. I can take notes. I can see the timeline. I can write a note here. I can go back and I can view all this stuff in Kelle. I can use Kelle to create a note for this contact. You know, let's say I successfully set an appointment with Abigail here. I click the calendar icon at that plus. I set my new buyer listing appointment, and now it's in my calendar. That's why we have a platform. It gives us the opportunity to be more intentional and to stop using all these various things that don't talk to each other. This is how you set a smart plan. I hit that plus and I pick one of those 6. That's why mastery is learning how this technology works and how to communicate with it, and you'll grow your business. Imagine here, I'm just calling through. I can keep flipping through all my various contacts and all these people I need to. So let's take AJ here. AJ doesn't have a phone number, right? I probably want his phone number. I can now email AJ, find that out, find AJ on Facebook. I can start focusing on adding that data. Because if you look up here at contacts health score, it's only 44%, and that's really poor. I actually have a lot of Keller Williams people in here. It's killing my database numbers because I only have a bunch of email addresses. But I can also get their phone numbers from Kelly. Don't forget about that part, or I can just ask them. Wouldn't you rather do that as a touch? Hey, AJ, we haven't talked in forever. What's your phone number? I'd love to text you something sometimes. Something like that. You have that opportunity. So we have somebody saying this is a crazy question. Let's find out. Is it possible to maintain the custom width in the smart views? I notice the tag column always cuts the tag in half. Yeah, good question, Christina. The view, we just changed the view of Command for MegaCamp, and that little part needs to be adjusted. When you discover those types of issues, you can reach out to support, or when you have an idea about something that should be added to Command, you can go to ideas.kw.com. Rachel asks, is there a way to export contacts? You haven't found that yet. When we're done here today, Rachel, go to the dashboard and look in the top right. The dashboard is just when you log into Command. And look in the top right, and you'll see in their notes that exporting is partially functional, and they're working on making it fully functional. There we go. All right, sorry about that. Okay, does that make sense? You have this just really amazing opportunity to contact intentionally. And I love that. It's my favorite thing about all of Command. Let's see here. I'm just reading the questions, guys. Pardon me. Thank you, Rachel. We had a couple people tell me we had sound issues, but the rest of you guys are telling me things are going great. So I'm going to assume we're doing okay. Suzanne said she's tried to follow all my contacts from Follow Up Boston to the Command template provided, but I keep getting a whoops, something went wrong. Great question. So let's think about this for a second. This wasn't part of today's class, but this is kind of the way we roll. You bring up things and we address them. Way back in the spring, when Command did a lot less than it does now, I had this great privilege of running the technology portion of the top agent mastermind at MAP Spring Masterminds, where all the top agents and leadership get together to mastermind. And people like Lance Loken and Tony Baroni, big agents were in the room. And rather than worrying about who's going to import all this stuff, what are we going to do? Oh my gosh, there keeps being errors. And I'll explain the errors in a second. Hey, why don't we just add 5 to 10 people a day and call them? It was that simple. And you can say, well, they have a team like Lance Loke, I think has 50 people, and they can scale it across 50 people. Well, yeah, but they also have more contacts than probably any of us, me included, do. You have this wonderful opportunity to just focus in on that. Mary wants to know if it's always Google Calendar before we move forward. Yes, actually, Mary. Google is very much part of the Keller Williams marketplace. Command is best used in Chrome. There will be other things like Office 365 integrates a bit, but nothing works better than Google Calendar and the Google products with Command right now. Which really, Google products are pretty outstanding. They work well, they're simple to use, they connect with a boatload of stuff. Okay. Oh, let's see which this one is. We just did that. Pardon me. So normally I have like multiple screens, and now I'm not on vacation with my family, and it goes a little smoother on the tech side. But let's think about this. So you saw a smart plan a few minutes ago, and it's great if you put somebody in a smart plan. But what do you say to them? We forget this part. Learning tech, it matters, but nothing matters more than really deepening the relationship. And you can use technology to do that. So this is the focus group script. At Spring Masterminds, actually that very same room I was in, we came up with this. There's nothing more powerful than asking someone to be part of something. So why wouldn't you ask them to be part of your business? So one of the ways we've overcome agent objections with, I think it should have this, I don't think it does this, all those types of things. the opportunity we have now is to, as we have launched actually, this platform for us, we can ask people to give us, the consumers, their feedback. And that in itself creates loyalty for us and deepens the relationship. I hope that makes sense. Since I mentioned Tony DeCello, we were talking about that. What he said that day was, if you do that enough, as in asking people to be part of your business, the referrals will just come to you. That's it. The referrals come to you. Would you rather beg or ask for the referral? Asking is the correct word. Or would you rather do something like this? So as I am in a room alone, I will role play with myself. Hey, Joe, how are you? Hey, Brett, right? Hey, I wanted to ask you something. We're working on creating at Keller Williams customized experiences for the people we're lucky enough to know and to work with, like yourself. Can I ask you to give me feedback on what I send you and let me know how we can make it better for you? Oh, what are you going to send me? Something like that. Well, my company is creating these customized experiences for real estate, like Netflix. And we want, what you'll look at is completely different than what your neighbor will look at, what your sister or your aunt or your mother will look at. We all have different experiences. And just the way Netflix is different for all of us, the real estate experience should be. And until now, it wasn't. So can I ask you, you just get an email a month and I'll follow up with you occasionally to get your opinion. Let me know how our company can make it better for you and for the rest of the people in, I believe, the 40 countries that Keller Williams is in. Could we do that? And the person will probably say yes. You can do that. And now you're not struggling with what to ask these people, or am I spamming them, or all those various types of like drunk monkey things that we have, right? Nobody likes change, me included. And we've developed these scripts in the program so that way you're actually prospecting, you're actually lead generating, but you're getting more information from the people that you talk to, because the more data you get, right, those 6 categories we looked at in reporting, the more opportunities you have to have deep conversations and automate some follow-up customized to them so you can talk to more people. The MREA talks about hiring human leverage. I would suggest that now, whenever it is we release the MRA 2.0, from this day forward, you should be focusing on having tech be your first hire. How do I maximize command? Who do I mastermind with? Where do I learn? What do I learn? How do I put this as a part of my business to both run my business as I do and grow it? You have that chance. George is asking how to get updated on command. George, you could take this very program, the Tech Enabled Agent. I'll show you how to sign up at the end. But let's keep teaching, because the last thing I want to do is like sit here and have a sales seminar with you. I frankly enjoy teaching technology too much. Okay, so do you understand like how simple this can be? Right? It's simple, not easy. The not easy part is you still have to do it. Sorry to break that to you. Technology lets us scale our relationships. Gary had leadership, me included, read a whole bunch of books that he read. And one of those books was What to Do When Machines Do Everything. And when I believe it was that book, and the textile industry went to machines to start producing a lot of goods, everyone thought all these seamstresses were going to lose their jobs. What happened was the machines made so much more materials than anyone ever could do by hand. The merely 2% of work that needs to be done by hand actually caused more people to be hired, because technology did so much stuff that it allowed more and more specialists to exist. You have that chance here. Okay, so this is something I'm really excited about. So this is in your handouts. Your handouts, let me get rid of your chat box here. Your handouts have something that's really, really powerful for you. Pardon me, we got stuck. Whoops. There we go. So your handouts have the KW color guide in them, and it has a 5-minute design video. And since we're moving faster than usual today, I wanted to both give you something to take away of value, but not dedicate what was about 25 minutes in our program to this specific part. And it was about how to create things in designs. So if you go to the handouts, you'll see a YouTube link in the PDF. Just watch it. It's me walking through it in about 5 minutes. You can watch it over and over again if you want, so that way you learn. But one of the absolute best parts of Command is the ability to create beautiful designs. We talked about creating a Canva-like experience. I've used Canva for years. I'm actually an experienced marketing person. I can use Canva, the Adobe Marketing Suite. This is way better because it's simpler and it does things like now it's pulling our listings in from the KWLS. So that way I want to make a social media post about my new listing. It takes me less than 5 minutes and it's beautiful. So watch that video, take the handout, and use it and let me know what you feel about it and how we can improve it and how we can explain it easier to you. This is very much your coaching program. So the way we approach it, agents message me pretty much every hour of the day. I get Facebook messages, direct messages, text, emails, the occasional phone call. When you guys get stuck, and it's actually a privilege to have the opportunity to do that. So I didn't want to, frankly, take 25 to 30 minutes to just show you designs, even though it's incredibly important, because you wouldn't get the overall idea of what we're doing here and learn all the stuff I wanted to kind of, let's say, tease you with to want to use Command more. So go check out the handout. It's really going to allow you to create beautiful, beautiful stuff for your business quite fast. Okay, so where are the handouts? The handouts are in the handout section of GoToWebinar. If you are having any issues with that, I will make sure that Jasmine, the great Jasmine from Maps, sends this out for you as part of the video that goes out today. We'll email it all to you if you struggle to find it. There is a handouts portion of GoToWebinar. Kim asks, will I be able to review this video after these sessions? Yes, I believe that Maps emails everyone afterwards that registered with the video. So you can watch this. You can watch this over and over again if you choose. You can also just friend me on Facebook. I'm pretty easy to find. I'm the only Brett Shagrew at all the Keller Williams, and I'm the only one on all of Facebook. I will give you all of my contact info at the end. Really, I'm excited to meet more of you as we go along here, because Command, I was an eEdge ambassador many years ago, like 2011, many years ago. And our ability to communicate more succinctly in a niche fashion, like the riches are in the niches to steal from a marketing podcast, is incredible. And we just have this great chance to do that together. So let's look at this part so I can explain this to you in context. Remember, since we're going faster than usual, just go rewatch this stuff whenever you can. So designs is over here. You would click that little icon there and it would open up. And we're not going to build something. I'm just going to give you a brief tour of it, because building something would take a little while. And it would take 5 minutes, but who wants to watch someone create a flyer? We have Instagram stories, LinkedIn, Twitter. This stuff is all sized for. It's perfectly sized for. I use this all the time now. I use this for all sorts of stuff, coaching stuff, real estate stuff. It's just a really easy to use system. Take this happy home anniversary, right? You're prospecting. One of the 6 categories in reporting is their home anniversary. So your client, we'll call them Joe and Susie. It's their home anniversary. You either ask them or you know it. You can post this on their social media with your logo, with your DBA logo, as is the compliant logo is called for our market centers. My market center's in Denver, Keller Williams DTC. So there's my DTC logo. Now you'll notice, and I explained this in the video, that you can't, right now, your market center logo is not automatically loaded into Command, but you can get that inside of My KW in the marketing tab. It asks you your market center number, mine is 30. I typed in 30. It let me download the transparent logo. And there's our team logo. And now I can post this on someone's Facebook page, because the filtering option inside of Command will also, I'm not going to save it, will also tell me who has birthdays in however many days. So say the next 7 days. So that's something I could time block. Who has birthdays the next 7 days? Oh, these 4 people. Let me make their 4 posts now and then set a task to post to social media that day. That's simple. Oh, Jasmine wants you all to know the handout is located in your webinar toolbar under handouts. Thanks, Jasmine. Jasmine works at Maps. She's awesome. She's a super helpful person. Perfect. Thank you, Jasmine. Jasmine was frankly really helpful there, as she always is. Whenever you guys get stuck and you have questions, if you're in the program, The MAP staff, along with me, reaches out to you as quick as they can, so that way you always know where you stand. Do you see how beautiful that stuff was? Let me move the slider back and show you this. Like, did you see how simple that was? I made this. I wanted to make something really simple so we didn't get stuck in designs, but I made this in real time. It took me 2 minutes. I knew where to go, of course. I have some level of mastery of command, of course, but it wasn't particularly hard to do. There's home anniversary, right? Done. So we'll move forward. So this is all you need to do. Get that handout where Jasmine told you where it was. So as a coach, it's a great privilege that I get to do things like be in a smaller room with Gary Keller like once or twice a year. And this happened the day before Mega Camp started. And Gary came and talked to 300 plus coaches. And he was previewing what he was going to talk about at Mega Camp. And he put this slide up. I mean, this is a photo from Gary's Elmo, that overhead projector thing he draws on all the time. And he put 7 a week down. And the next slide he showed broke out all the numbers, 300, plus, I think it was 326 appointments, and just all the listings you have to take, all the listings you have to close, all those types of things. And those numbers, frankly, stressed me out a little. I'm a real estate agent too. This number doesn't, no. It's 7, 1 a day. You should probably take a day off every week, but can you more or less set 1 appointment a day? So this isn't even going on, right? Some of them cancel. But can you set 1 appointment a day? If your first thought was no, what are you doing all day? Seriously, I'm really not being judgmental. I'm a coach. Your job's to schedule appointments, go on appointments, help them buy and sell homes, right? Solve weird inspection issues, the occasional bad appraisal, all that type of realtory stuff. That's the type of stuff that gets in the way of us creating appointments and building our business. If we don't create appointments and build our business, we don't get to live our life by design. It's that simple. That's why this is, I always joke that our little program here is actual skills training disguised as tech training, which is true, because you need to not only know how to use command, you need to know how to communicate around its various parts. And so while we quickly went through some stuff today that I would have probably broken out more over maybe 2.5 to 3 sessions, so that way we would have built in an extra script, like what do you say the second time? Or a thing I'm teaching in, honestly, about 20 minutes in my program, Tech-Enabled Agent, to the coaching clients that are signed up currently, is we're starting to build out the checklist stages for follow-up inside of opportunities. If you haven't been there, go check that out, because it allows you to not only know where your business stands, but it allows you to build in the checklist. So every time someone goes into Cultivate, if you remember from the MRA 2.0, every time someone goes there, you have just a wonderful opportunity to not think about what should I do next. You just follow the list. You have a system. You're not relying on creativity. I mean, Gary's been telling us that for years. Creativity is great, but first you need a system. Command gives you that chance. And my favorite thing about it, and Josh Team was bringing this up at Mega Camp, we're all going to speak one language. So that way, if you call me for help, I don't have to tell you that I'm working with this CRM and you're working with this CRM, and we try to develop some sort of workaround for you based on what I'm doing. I can just tell you what to do. And you can go ask your friend who's succeeding at something you're interested in. They can tell you what they're doing in the same language, in the same steps, in the same path. That's going to save a ton of time and make it better. That's the whole point of us creating this system. The whole point. So let me check your questions here quickly. Can those birthday posts, no, the handout is the color guide, Edwina. Edwina asked if there's a handout other than a color guide. So Carla asked a fantastic question. Can those birthday posts be scheduled? The next smart plan that's getting released, according to my meeting with Labs, is the birthday smart plan, Carla. So you'll learn the person's birthday, and it'll have the steps for tell you how far out to contact them. And I don't frankly know what the steps are yet, because in Labs, thank you for the huzzah, Carla, and the yay, Rachel. In Labs, the agents that were labbing this shouldn't shock any of us. Me certainly doesn't. The agents couldn't agree with what they want to do to kind of systematize celebrating and honoring a client's birthday. And I think that's fair and reasonable. Like, that's a hard thing to figure out. And so one of the cool things we're going to be able to do in the future too is make our own smart plans, like I mentioned earlier. And the thing that's really powerful about that is we can customize simple steps. Maybe we have this whole process where we go to someone's house, like we really do it. You could build that. Now, it's not here yet, so you can't go do this today. But I would suggest when that happens that you don't make special smart plans for every imaginable situation. So for years, I've helped mega teams and big agents, help them with their technology and their systems. They're all Keller Williams agents and teams. And one of the things I would discover is that they would have things like 300 tags. Well, that's not like, you probably don't need more than 20. I don't care what size your team is. And it's because there was just too much creativity, too many people with their own ideas, too many agents with their own ideas, too much admin with their own ideas, and it just never created a system. Ben wants to know, thank you for the question, Ben Bond, will Command have anything for an SOI newsletter that we can mail USPS? Huh. Ben, that is a really good one. I would go to ideas.kw.com and submit that because I think that's a great idea personally. And the cool thing about labs is they actually listen to you. I'm not joking because I've had this great privilege of coaching agents from before family reunion around Command, where we literally show them how to put contacts in, how to follow up with them, some scripting. Since I've watched that happen to this point, I have seen so many of them go to ideas.kw.com and give them feedback and tell them what they would like and watch people vote on it and watch labs at it. That's really a great opportunity for you. So go tell them about that, Ben, but I would expect to see that there at some point. All right. Success is not simple. It is simple, actually. Sorry. It is not easy. I saw this morning, and I decided to add it to class today. I just showed you a very simple way to use Command to grow your business substantially. The choice is yours. You don't have to worry about anything. If you want to be a millionaire real estate agent, and I mean a net millionaire real estate agent, not a gross millionaire real estate agent, as in you take home a mill. That sounds amazing. You don't have to make it more complicated than what we just did. I remember a question from earlier, and this isn't complicated, but somebody was having a problem uploading the contacts via that CSV file. And somebody asked about the e-edge connection. I'm in a tech trainer group. I was my tech ambassador and trainer in my market center as well as an agent for years. Helping you guys overcome your issues is like my favorite thing in the world, is very much my professional one thing. And I would watch us all just do this way too complicated. So if you're having a CSV upload problem, break it out by the most important people first, your past clients in Sphere. Do just Sphere. Just do those 50, 100 people, 20 people, 10 people, whatever it is, and upload them. And then go to the next most important group and work your way down that way. So that way, if there's one little thing wrong in the CSV file, you didn't just waste all this time, because it just becomes a waste of time. And don't forget about that tactic I brought up earlier, where you can add 5, 10 people a day manually by calling them. Those mega teams that did that, and the agents that heard that and subsequently did it, grew their businesses. You had the chance. The choice is yours, to quote an old song. It's your choice to take it. So we have a few minutes left. So I'm going to go into our questions. I do genuinely have to go a little before the top of the hour because I do have a coaching program to coach. When uploading contacts into Command, will Command reject contacts that are already in Command? Yes, it's not going to. And there's also, if you're worried about duplicates, George, in that I love you guys, if you haven't been in Command, won't be as excited about this as I am. But that top right corner of the main screen, right, the dashboard, where it tells you what's coming, if you go to what's coming next, you can see that we're going to have a dedupe feature coming this quarter. And that's really helpful. The way I dedupe now is I use something called PySync, and I connect it to, which is part of Command, and I connect it to Google Contacts and let Google Contacts do it, which is actually a very easy way to do that, to fix that. But that's coming. Lori wants to know, is there a way to bulk edit lead sources to have a set standard for team members? God, what, Lori, that's such a good question. It's one of those questions I want to sit here and think about, but then I'm just going to be a guy, you're going to be watching a man thinking. Is there a way to bulk edit lead sources to have a set standard for team members when adding a new contact? That is a fantastic question, Lori. Let's go back and look. I'm not fully sure if I understand. Let me see here. Give me 5 seconds, everyone. Yes, you can route. Now I understand Lori's question. You can route the leads. You can create routing rules. You can decide who gets what source. And that's why it's one of the things that's coming in October for the mega teams. And that's why Command's available for solo agents and what we're calling small teams, like 7 or less agents, because of the complication of routing that kind of stuff. It's actually harder than you think. Teresa asked if we have access to the scripts used. You know, Teresa, I didn't upload the birthday and address script, but I will be happy to send that to Jasmine when we're done. So when the recording goes out to everyone, it's part of that. If you want, though, hold on. If you could bear with me 1 sec, I'm going to flip back to that script, and you can actually just take a photo of it if you want to use it now. Hold on really quick. Yep. There's the focus group script. Let me move this out of the way. Right, we are right, so you can take a photo of that. I'll give you a sec. And I'll flip back to the other one, but we'll have Jasmine email them out to you as part of the video going out when we're done. Right, and here's the other script. It's the Gary address script, which Gary did on stage at Family Reunion. It was one of those moments I was sitting and it's like, oh gosh, that's really smart and simple. Best ideas usually are. And they can find out their birthday, right? During conversation with them, you can invite them to something, wishing them a happy Thanksgiving, happy house anniversary. You can very much do that. Let's shuttle back quickly. Pardon me, shuttling through. All right, so this is a coaching program. We meet twice a week live, which gives people panic because it's twice a week. It's only 30 minutes, so it's going to be shorter than today, and it's going to be, generally, we focus on like 2 big things that connect, if that makes sense. Like step 1 and step 2. And so you can baby step your way with really effective things through Command. Every session goes on demand as soon as we're done. We use a platform called Kajabi. It's simple to use. I've even watched sessions on my phone just to test it out while I'm traveling. Works fantastic right in the browser. I'm always here to help you answer questions. I've had meetings with people. I'll meet with teams. People ask me to meet with their ALC. I do my darndest to help every single one of you when you need it. Or when it sounds like you need it. Sometimes you haven't accepted that yet. Personally, I am a coach. I'm here to kind of push you a little, right? We have real-time Command updates. Command generally deploys updates on Tuesdays, often on Thursday, because our class is Tuesday and Thursday. I'm often teaching them on Thursday if they're big updates or if they're things you need to know about. I include that as part of the session. But then we get into like today. We show you the part. We show you how to communicate around it and to convert higher. It's $49 a month to month. There's no contract. You get a friend to talk to help you through this stuff. You can go to Maps Coaching programs. The link is right there. You can also just frankly Google KW Maps group tech enabled agent, and this program pops up right up top. So since I have 2 minutes before I have to go coach our agents, to see if you guys have any other questions. Oh, thank you, Terry. She called me the bomb. This has been super good and helpful. I'm getting less afraid. Don't be afraid. If you're feeling uncomfortable, that's where growth happens. I promise you, I am very uncomfortable today, not being in my market center, talking to you from the comfort of my office. Instead, I'm kind of next to a noisy window, not very far from London Bridge. Sorry if you heard some motorcycles go by. And being uncomfortable is a positive thing. So Jasmine and the Maps team will send out the copy. Thank you for all the compliments here at the end. I actually have to go to our group coaching program now to go log in there. I've really enjoyed your questions. I'm glad that we didn't have audio issues, frankly. A few of you told me we did. To be honest, sometimes things break, and that's okay. Things break in your business. I had my session on Tuesday die because the internet in the place I'm staying in London just died. I apologize. I emailed everyone. I told them how we would remedy the issue, and I sent them a new session recorded. That's it. Melody wants to know if we start at the beginning of the month. No, Melody, if you sign up, you won't get charged for 2 months and 2 weeks. That's really unfair. They'll just move that to, I believe, if you signed up like today or tomorrow, I don't believe you get charged October. Again, Our job is not to take money from you, it's to help you and to coach you. And that's why our program is here. It is to get more people into coaching, because Gary always says the one thing you should never cut from your budget is coaching. So get those 7 appointments, go get to work, reach out to me. I will show you in a slide where you can find me. I'm very much looking forward to speaking to so many of you back at home. That is my email. You can also find me on Facebook Messenger, on Instagram. I'm really the only Brett Chagru with 1 T and that lame. I will see you there. Thank you all so very much for joining me. I really had a great time. Thank you to my friends here at KW London Bridge, who have since left their team meeting, so it's not as noisy behind me. Have a great day, everybody. Bye.